Thursday night, Room Podcast live. Not my ordinary night here. I usually go live on Wednesday nights, but I've been busy the last couple of weeks getting bands and comedians in here. But tonight, got another band. Former duet turned into a band and running some kind of business with an open mic going on too. So, CC, Alex, ride the vibe. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us, dude.
Thanks, Steve. Absolutely.
You come from Newport. Is that where you guys are from? Or is that where you're located at this moment?
No, I was born in Newport. I've lived my whole life in Middletown, which is the town right next to Newport. But for anybody outside of Rhode Island, if you tell them you live in Middletown, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So the easy answer is like, yeah, I'm from Newport. And everybody's like, oh, okay.
Awesome. And then,
I was brought to Middletown when I was 16, but I grew up on Atwells Ave. My parents owned a 3-story over there, right off, going down Federal Hill up to the corner of Academy and Atwells.
Now your last name?
My mother's maiden name was Martone.
Okay.
My last name was Collins. My dad was the Irish. So I'm the half Italian, the other half Irish.
So that would make sense growing up where you are. Did you grow up? That's a kind of Italian area.
It was.
There. Yeah.
It's not so much anymore, as we all know, but it was way back then. Yeah.
You still have family that way? Or?
I have family here. I have cousin. We just went to, what was it, Bar 101?
Yeah.
And we were sitting there talking about, I was like, this is my cousin Joey Giacomo lives in Johnston. And the lady goes, she goes, Giacomo, tall guy, I know him.
Well, everybody knows
that.
Her
name was like Gina. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Either Cranston, Johnson, or North Providence. Everybody knows everybody, like, once you mention a name.
And we were only there like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was funny.
Well, you could have, I mean, I know you're waiting to come over here or whatever. I said quarter up, but you could have had a beer here. But you guys, were you strategizing what you were going to talk about, or were you doing?
I needed a beer.
You need to loosen up a little bit.
Well,
she's so nervous about this new podcast thing.
I was like, what the?
This newfangled media.
That's awesome.
What's it all about?
Hey, you got to get used to it.
I don't know if I can handle it.
But that's pretty cool. You get a little nervous coming in. I mean, you're on stage playing in front of people. No nerves there, correct?
No, always. I'm always nervous. I don't think Alex gets nervous ever. I fear forgetting, making a mistake. And everyone's going to make a mistake. We're all human. We all F up. I'm trying not to swear now.
You could swear.
But I have to have my iPad so that if I forget the lyrics, it's like a grounding for me. I'm like, okay, where am I? Try to use my ear if I mess up on a chord, or Alex will give me a look. I'm like, okay, I'll go right back into it. But where am I?
Well, that's what bandmates are for, right? Here we go. Now, you two started out as, we talked a little before we started, as a duet, correct?
Yes.
Together. Originally, we started in the Wednesday open mic. That's how we originally met, through that.
Yep. So the Wednesday open mic is something that I was just a participant of. I started going there in 2019. The two people who owned the bar that was doing the open mic were people I had known previously. They managed a bar previously. We became friends through getting gigs through them. When they eventually bought this new bar, they call it the Pub at 2 Mile Corner. It's in Middletown. Maybe they were floating around with the new place for like a year or two before the open mic came along. Mm-hmm. The open mic started in 2018?
Yes. So I reached out to them. And Ed was like, let me talk to Diane. And then I didn't hear anything for a month or two. And I kind of went back at them. You guys, you want to do this? I think that we could help. Because they had just opened. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it would help bring different kind of people. Because the bar prior to them owning it was a different feel.
Yeah.
Like a local, I don't want to say dive bar. But, the name associated to that actual place was different feel. And Ed and Diane heroically have changed it into something. It's such a cool vibe now. I don't know.
Now, as far as that, the open mic. All right. So I know, the comedians have open mics and people jump up there and kind of get their first time is up there. There's people, practicing their craft, doing new stuff like that. as far as an open mic in a musical situation,
Yeah.
what does that entail as far as the people that come and play with you, and what do you have up there as far as what they can have under to utilize to play live?
Yeah. So, the way a music open mic works, and I think it's probably a lot easier than a comedian open mic, because a comedic open mic, I mean, I've never been to one, but I listen to podcasts all the time about them, and it's like you go up there and you do material that you're working on, and you hope the crowd reacts. That's the whole comedian thing.
Some of them go on up there with material they're working on. Some of them just go up there and just vent, their day.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I can see that.
Sometimes
I
it
can see
works,
that.
sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But the music thing,
Musicians do the same thing, though. I think that
Yes.
when whatever your day entailed, you bring that with you when you get up there. You want to play a sad song, you not feeling that sad song, or you're really feeling it, and that's going to be a different feel. I don't know. So
Now the people that you get, all right, to go back to that, like you must get all types, professionals, Amis, first timers.
Yep. Well, so the one thing that I love about open mics is really the opportunity you give the first timers, because scoring shows, being in a band, it takes work, it takes scheduling, it takes getting yourself out there to make a show happen.
yeah,
Open mic, it's like show up, put your name on the board, you're on stage. And that's what's super cool. You don't have to come with original stuff. As a matter of fact, 90% of what happens at an open mic is just covers. But that's the beautiful thing about music as opposed to comedy, is that you can practice and prepare covers and try it out. And just, can I play Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd? Yeah, let me go and learn it on YouTube. This guy, taught me on YouTube. And then bring it to an open mic. And you know what? Especially in our area, Newport, Middletown, covers are kind of what's more dominant for what people want to hear. So that's the beautiful thing about it. That's the one thing I love about open mics. It's bringing the new people in to get their confidence up, to prove that they can perform on stage. And then the variety. That's probably my second favorite thing, because there was one time, I missed this night, but wasn't there a guy that showed up with like a didgeridoo or something like that and just started, it was like this.
Oh yeah, that was I'm trying to remember his name. He's a local kid. Yeah. Isaiah. It was Isaiah.
Okay.
Was it something he picked
and he
up
was
at a
doing
yard
tribal.
sale and he goes, "Let me try this out here."
Actually, I think it was part of his ethnicity.
Oh, okay.
He was really into it, and he just went on. And he was like, woo, had the hat and everything, and it was amazing. There's been so many nights like that where people come and surprise you. They've come from Cape Cod, from Johnston to all the way, down South County or whatever, and just to play a couple songs.
Yeah.
Now I would imagine, people come solo and they take, maybe a couple of friends with them to check them out. Probably a lot of significant others coming to watch you, you get your stuff up there. You love the first timers, but as far as, the band and the backing, you need to know a billion songs, correct? Or how do you prepare? Or you just wing some of it?
Master is what Fritz would call him. The riff
Yeah, I
master
love
at
that.
band practice is like, we can just come out with these riffs. But mainly they ask us, what can we do? What song? We'd like to do this song. And I've handed just the other night, last night, here's my iPad. Look what these guys know or what I do. You can sing whatever song. I don't need to get up there. These are the songs that definitely know, and so that works out that way sometimes.
Now the band that's backing it, it's you.
Yep.
I imagine. Are you guitar, drums, are you doing it all?
Whatever
Whatever
you
they need that
want me to
night.
do.
Whatever
So,
you need that night.
The way the night will start out is that we have a house band. We'll start out the night. We'll play 4 or 5 songs, and then we open it up to the chalkboard of people who have signed up. Now, if you sign up, you want to go up solo, perfectly fine. If you sign up and you want us to back you, yeah, we'll go up there and back you. I'll play drums for you, whatever it might be. If you brought a band, if you brought 4 of your friends and you all practice a song and you want to sit behind my drum set, play my guitar,
Yeah,
go for it.
We're all on about it.
Yeah.
Do you ever have I would imagine it's a little difficult. Do you ever have just a drummer come in and say, "Hey, can I
Absolutely.
play this with you guys?"
Yeah,
All the time.
Because
yeah.
I played drums in the past, right?
Love you.
And we did talk, about it. Like I stopped playing for over 2 decades.
Yep.
And I just, in the last year started playing again. And I'm in like a school of rock now with the old timer guys. You know what I mean? We're all strumming along, playing Christmas songs and like easy Tom Petty stuff. But I didn't know. Like I know open mics, comedians, like karaoke, like
Sure.
I didn't realize there was an open mic for bands there that a drummer can just go out there and like, oh, let me see if I can like learn that and
Yeah.
stuff like. Because people were telling me, oh, Steve, go to like the open mics, like. But I didn't realize the drummers were also being able to be involved in
I
that.
was excited when Alex decided that he asked, is it all right if I set up my drum kit one night? And I was like, sure. And then, but my late friend John Hillman and I always were like, Alex, when he started doing that, we were like, we want Alex every time, we want him every time. But, he just would show up and, was dedicated and allowed anybody to do anything on this drum kit of his. That's beautiful. Looks like Neil Peart's red,
It's a Gretsch. It's a Gretsch kit.
Yeah, a little Gretsch.
Yeah, I checked it.
Yep.
What kind is it? Renown or what is it?
I don't even know. Little tiny kit. Little
a club,
little cantina
like
kit.
a Gretsch, like club. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. They sound great, don't they? Fuck,
Yeah.
I got a Gretsch right there.
Yep.
Oh, and I love this color. It's that burgundy.
Yeah, I bought that whole thing during COVID off a guy that bought it and never played it. I think he played it for like a week, and I just like picked up the whole thing. I added some stuff to it,
Sure.
the pedals and stuff, and some stands, but yeah, and it was at home. I had an electronic drum set in here, and I was like, you know what? Let me put the real one in here, and I'm like, I fucking love it. I love it.
Yep.
Maybe you could play before we.
Yeah, I'll play it. Yeah.
Like Alex is like, yeah, we smash that freaking thing, man.
Alex is a yes man.
Yeah.
So as far as getting started, I'm gonna hit backgrounds now.
Okay.
I mean, drumming,
Yep.
top player. I'm
Yep.
sure you sing also.
I do.
You lead, solo, like lead singing or mostly background.
Oh no, I'll lead sing. I'll play lead guitar, especially with Ride the Vibe. I am the lead guitarist. I'll do soloing and whatnot over CC songs or the covers we do. Yeah, it's funny. As far as like what I am best at, I figure that I am better at. I'm a pretty good drummer. I like to think so anyway. I'm a kind of guitarist.
But when he sits on the drum kit, like I don't get to have him on the drum kit anymore. Like that was the open mic stuff, and it's like he's so good. Like he really, and I get to watch him do it with everybody else, but I don't get to play with him anymore on the drum kit. But anyway, you're a good guitarist also.
Now in the Ride the Vibe,
Yeah.
your guitar.
I'm lead guitar.
So you have another drummer.
Yes.
A drummer there.
Yep.
Now that must be pretty cool. I mean, nowadays guitar players play everything, but that must be pretty cool as far as the original aspect. You're writing and you kind of feel the groove or something like that, and you can relate it to him, and he can put his own vibe on that. Is that a cool kind of working kind of cohesive kind of thing there?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's so like we do mostly her originals, right? And I'll try to figure out what I want to do on guitar versus her playing the guitar, because she'll play guitar for her own originals. And then, I mean, having the drummer figure out what they want to do for that original. Yeah, I mean, it's the process of writing is fun. It's really fun. You have the one person who wrote the song, then you have all the other instrumentalists who figure out how they want to add their own flavor to that song. And it's wicked cool.
And everyone's opinion is valued too.
Yeah, that's the band there.
We're gonna make a stop here. We're gonna, drive it here. We're gonna do what do you want to do?
So as far as the original stuff, what kind of style is that? What and how long have you been? You saying you're doing most of her originals. How long have you been writing, and what kinds of style?
Alex and I, we just have brought on Josh and Fritz, and Josh is an awesome drummer. I love his feel. He's so energetic. He's always on time. He's just so enthusiastic, And Fritz is just, he's a creative spirit too. So we haven't really been able, as a full band, the plan is to get into the studio. But whenever I've sat down with Alex, his lead guitar riffs on my originals it just beautifies the song, that's how I feel. He just kind of
Brings them
he
to
just
life.
feels it. He just feels it and just goes with it. And he's just very talented that way.
Now, as far as your musical style and how you write and what you're into, what's that? What's your background listening to and what?
Every song that I've ever written has been either from an experience or an emotional experience. So, like one song I was just talking to Alex about, I didn't even know I was really writing a song. I was in the back seat, and I was in LA. I was in the back seat of the car. My dad and my brother in the front, and I was just writing down stuff. I was always writing down stuff. And then a year later, I read an article that Berkeley Music put out about destination writing, and I remembered that I was doing that. So I went back to my notepad on my iPhone, and it talks about underlining your feelings and parenthesizing the thought. And I had all this stuff written down and wrote down the underlines and the parentheses, and then all of a sudden I looked at the page and there was a whole song there. It was really long. And I had no music behind it. And then that became LA Time. But then one night, ironically, we're going to do this song tonight. It's called Pocket Full of Dreams. I wrote a song. Well, I started writing a song about a homeless guy. Like, the process of writing is weird for me. I don't know. I've written a few that I tried to give my salmon to when I was with my late friend John Hillman on the street of Broadway, and he got mad at me and he wanted money. And then I just put the salmon down by the lamppost and I walked away and I'm looking over my shoulder. He coming after me. I don't know. I was really upset about it. So I was John and I had gone back, sat across the street at Fifth Element and looked over. It was called Salvation Cafe. And I'm looking, trying to get ideas of what I was going to say about this upsetting event. And it never came to me. But a year later, the night, and I didn't know John was going to die the next day, but that night, for some reason, all these lyrics came pouring in. I had, a notebook, and I was just writing diarrhea, blah, 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 going onto the back of the cardboard paper and just writing. But I had the riff in my head at that point. So the music came first for that one. It's just, most of the time it's all sad songs.
Well, those songs right there must mean a crazy amount to you. Like, you talk about this Hillman fellow. Like, I read, talked about your bio. Is he the one that started the open mic night?
So he and I were, I was just beginning. And that was the reason why I started the open mic, because I knew maybe 5 songs on the guitar. And I could probably do backup on another 5. And then I was just learning harmonica. So I was one song on the harmonica, and it was, blue. I was really, really into the blues and the blues harp. And I just was let's do an open mic. And John was 74 years old at the time. And, he was a blues guitarist and just was my mentor and was all enthusiastic and never had any bad thing to say about anybody. And they said yes, and we started. But every Wednesday, I was freaking out because I'm I only have 4 songs. I can't just do these same 4 songs every week. I'm not going to do this. And John's it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And it was always okay because the board signed up and people came and the music. And then I was the baby. People came, their skill set was way above me.
Yeah.
So I'm all enthusiastic about everyone because I'm I aspire to be that.
Yes.
I was that's so great, amazing. Because it was to me. I had the awe, I had the starry-eyed, and I still do.
Well, definitely playing with people better than you that you can look up to definitely, accelerates your growth and your ability and your learning. And that's what I'm going through now with, we spoke about the jam band I'm right now.
Yeah.
Like I have experience playing drums from years, back in the day doing heavy metal and stuff like that. Now we're with these guys, and they just basically, just picked up the guitar like a couple of years ago. So every week we're kind of playing the same 4 songs, and then we add one here, and it takes like 3 weeks to like everyone to get into it, and it's fun and all, but and I gotta realize, hey Steve, I'm back into it after a year. You know what I mean? I gotta go through the steps again, and get the chops and get the timing again. So it's great for me, taking the baby steps, and I would imagine that's how you were brought up, and that's that's like mentors, and those are the people that pave paths. They just know how to teach and make you better, without you even knowing it or thinking it's good for you.
What John left behind for me was a group of awesome people I get to experience, and now I'm like, I thought that the band was up there when I was pointing, but those guys behind me and everybody that comes down to the open mic, and even just patrons that continue to come down every Wednesday, and then they follow us to gigs, and it's really been heartwarming and awesome, and I thank John all the time. But I did put in the work too. If I didn't put in the work, then I wouldn't be where we are. But it is one song at a time. For me, it's been one song at a time, and still always will be, I think.
Now, you established this open mic. It says 2018. That's when it started, and you jumped in kind of right when it started, or how long?
You're the originator, right?
You're
your idea.
John and I were the originators. When I first went down to the pub at 2 Mile Corner, there was John Erickson, is a local musician, and he had this big, huge monster PA board. And I had this couple speakers, and I would plug into it. I didn't know anything about mids or lows or highs and but I was plugging into the 2 main speakers of the pub, and there was some connection shortage. I remember Cisco came down. People like to, as I'm setting up, try to talk to you and like introduce, and I just, at that moment, I'm always like, I need to focus. Where is this plug going? But it kept cutting out. So I ended up buying another PA system. And I just went from there, and I would watch YouTube videos, and I was watching like how not to have the XLR and the power cord together because it'll cause a buzz, So then I needed to plug into one main outlet, and if I wanted the other speaker to the other side of the room, it had to come out of that same outlet. Otherwise, if I plugged into 2, there was going to be some cross streaming. Yeah. I got really into it, and I've learned. I'm not a professional sound person. Yeah. I have learned a lot over the past few years. One of the challenges is too, like when someone comes up, you want to have them sound the best. Yeah. But they shy away from the mic, or they don't project themselves. So you try to get the gain up as much as you can, and you try to, and then might be a little feedback. We gotta put that down. And then everybody in the room is a sound engineer. We gotta turn her up. We gotta turn that up.
Who's yelling from the crowd?
Everyone, yeah. Everyone wants to touch the board. Everyone wants to touch the board. Everyone thinks they can make someone sound better. It's really funny. But it's like, I feel cool, like they want to be involved. So I've been like, go ahead, you try. And it's like, oh.
Oh, that's cool that you have like patience, and like I'd be like,
I try.
I don't know. Yeah. But it's as
they
far
just
as
want to be involved.
I go to I believe your open mic is Wednesdays. It's
yes.
Every Wednesday. Do you do any other, like, is just Wednesdays there? Do you do a traveling kind of thing, or is it all just there? It's Wednesday night, and that's the night for open mic.
Yeah.
So everyone knows
religiously
Newport,
every Wednesday this is what's happening.
So I go to I usually do my live. I always do my live podcast usually on Wednesdays, but now I'm adding more days. Now Wednesday night when I get out of my podcast, I usually end. By the time I get out of here and do everything I need to do, it's like 9:45. There's a karaoke, show that goes on every Wednesday. So I go there, and you get the same people going up, or you have, guys that coming in or ladies coming in that are in bands and they're just trying out a new song or something like that. But you do see the regulars come in every week and, maybe try something new or, sing the same song every week. Yep. Is that what? Do you get that sort of thing?
Yeah, what you're
You
describing
get the
is
superstars
exactly what
coming
we get.
every week.
Not the same song though, but last night warmed my heart. With Billy,
Oh, true.
When Billy shows up, this regular that comes down, he can shred. He shreds. He likes heavy metal. He likes rock and roll. I don't know what his. Do you know what kind of like electric guitar he plays?
No.
Well, he came down with like his pajama pants and like Santa hat. He was all dressed up and he called it, what was it, Very Billy Christmas.
Yeah.
On
Exactly.
the chalkboard
Exactly,
when you
yes.
sign up. It was so cool. They
Yeah.
worked some song out and
He did like
Samara was there
Silent
and
Night,
Max
but it was
was
rock.
there.
It was like
Oh, it's just like doing. He's
Yeah.
fucking living,
It was
living
so
the
great.
dream.
Yeah.
Living
So
the
great.
dream.
I was like, oh my god, it's so heartwarming. It was great. So
Yeah.
we do get the regulars, but they switch it up.
No, I mean I gotta go. I gotta go to.
You should, man.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
I've gone to Newport quite a few times. As far as I know, a few cover bands that have played around there. With the main strip over there, there's a couple of bars over there that have a couple of bands that play.
Yeah.
And where you're playing, where's the address? Where is it located on?
I think it's technically like 10 Maple Ave in Middletown. However, the parking lot's in the back. It's not on Maple Ave. The entrance, like if you try to go through the Maple Ave door, it's locked.
I always let people in though.
Yeah, we'll let people in, I should say. But yeah, it's if you're in the area, it's where basically East Main and West Main Road meet, or 114 and 138 meet for people who don't live around here, or live around Newport, I should say. It is not in Newport. It is not on the main drag. You do have to look for it, but when you find it, I mean, it's the coolest little spot.
It's like a little star right there glowing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
And dude, even if you just go there one night to check it out, have a drink, have the food, the food.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
The wings.
The wings especially. They got this menu that it must have like 40 flavors of wings, and they're delicious.
So I'll take my son there. We'll go.
There you go. Yeah.
He's in.
Does he play?
No. He's a music fan though. But,
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he's a wing and beer fan, so it all works out.
Perfect place for
And
it.
then he might goof on a couple of
I'll have you
the
look
musicians.
at the iPad and you know what songs you want to do when you come down.
Oh, when I
the
come
drums,
play the
yeah.
drums?
Yeah.
I know a couple.
Absolutely.
Just they're not heavy ones. Some Tom Petty and
Dude,
Black Rose and
perfect.
stuff like
We
that.
got
You know
one
what
for
I mean?
fives.
Yep.
You want to do Hound Dog?
American Girl.
We know some people who might know American Girl.
Let's
I
talk
thought
about
it was the American.
Let's talk about the band itself. I mean, you have your band that playing out and stuff. But as far as the house band or
Yep.
you guys playing, you're on drums. Or
No,
guitar?
for the house band, for the most part, I'll be lead guitar,
Okay.
and she'll be rhythm guitar and singing.
Originally, he was on drums.
Okay.
It was
Originally.
John Hillman lead, and I would either be
True,
guitar or harmonica. Then when when John passed away, Alex started moving towards being on lead, and we kind of had like fill-ins for the drum kit for the first, the beginning opening set.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting because I've never played with any other drummer than Alex, and then we're in the middle of a song. It's like this is slowing down somehow.
They all can't be Alex,
I was like, how is this?
And you're so
slower?
used to play, his timing and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, the drummer that plays with the band, the open mic, is
Yeah.
different from the drummer in the band.
No.
Oh,
So
same drummer.
it's the same drummer as the Ride the Vibe drummer.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Shout out
I
to
mean,
Yeah.
keep it in the family, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, was that something that you did? Did he say, "Hey, I want to get involved with this"? Or
I mean,
did you just,
so-
you appoint him to it.
So
just
the-
because-
We
I mean-
I think we asked.
We asked, but actually, our drummer right now is a drummer that I used to play with in a previous band years and years ago. I used to play, and I still do every once in a while, but I used to play with this kid who does country music, Ben O'Connor. And it was myself on lead guitar, Ben on the rhythm and singing, and our drummer Josh, who played drums. Then my brother was on bass. My brother has since retired from music at 29 years.
That's awesome.
I don't think that part's awesome. I think the kid
He might
should
be
keep
back.
playing. Yeah, he should keep playing bass. Regardless, when COVID hit, everything stops. When things started lifting and when things started kind of opening up again, Ben decided to go a different route and not really pay attention to the local scene anymore or do bars anymore. He wanted to. He's a very good salesman, marketing person. He can sell himself really well, and currently he'll play all over the country. He does like solo gigs, but he brings musicians in as well. He's made friends in New York with musicians, and he'll do all sorts of stuff all over the country. I, as a regular Joe Schmo with a real job, can't go all over the country and be touring with him and stuff like that. So,
It's a nice dream.
myself and Josh, it is.
When you're 22 and 24.
Yeah. Myself and Josh, we kind of separated for a little bit because of that, because, Josh can't do that kind of stuff either. But now, I mean, it's been a couple months, maybe since the summertime, since I've been bugging him for the longest time to come to the open mic anyway. Just come to the open mic, check it out, play drums. We'll play drums on whatever you want. There's so many people who come up who want a drummer. Just come out and do it.
Yeah.
And he started showing up often enough to where now Cece considered having him as a regular drummer for the Ride the Vibe band. And that's how it's all that. So, all right, that's honestly, I know I told you like the newbies might be my favorite thing about the whole open mic thing, but honestly, no, it's the connections, the friends, and the bandmates I've made through open mic. It is the absolute best part about it. Without that open mic, Ride the Vibe wouldn't exist, and my other band Birdstick wouldn't exist, and just I've made so many friends through it.
And the Flying Monkeys.
And the Flying Monkeys is technically another quasi band we have as well that meets every once in a while to play music. But none of this music would exist without that open mic, and that's the real beauty of it. Yep.
Yeah, like you said, like you just knew a few songs. Now you have a library full of them.
Library and all these connections, and I've watched connections being made. Alex.
And that's why that's why you do it, and that gives you inspiration and joy, and it gives you the eagerness to keep wanting to do it, and fill people up with that, because it makes it's satisfactory to you guys.
Yeah.
It's good. Now, as far as you got these regulars coming in. Do you ever? You have to see it. Like you started off with. Small, and now you're in a band, and now you're running the show and stuff. Do you ever see musicians that come out as pretty green, and now they're kind of in a band? They're doing something, or
You know what?
I've
I
seen
don't.
growth.
Yes,
Like
growth
John Fuller
definitely.
last night.
That's the first person I thought of.
Dude.
Yep.
He was.
Yep.
Yeah, he was killing it on lead guitar, and he couldn't do that a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what she's talking about is this guy John Fuller, and he's a pretty reserved fellow. He kind of he keeps to himself for the most part, and he would come to the open mic for a little while and play acoustic guitar and do his own tunes. He's got a few of his own, which is pretty cool. But lately, he's been coming around and he's been asking me like, hey, can you play drums? And he asks another guy, can you play bass? And he'll come up, do his tunes now, but it's on lead guitar, and he can rip. Like I didn't even know he could rip, but he can.
Yeah.
And he's kind of breaking out of his shell and doing these tunes, and it's really cool to see.
Really cool to see.
And like you said, I mean the percentage is low of who's actually gonna really take off. It's the same thing when I go to the karaoke. I mean, you do see those people that get better every week, and there's some people that really really good, but they just want to do karaoke. They don't want to be a band.
Yeah.
But then you have that diamond in the rough, that you might have that great singer that don't have the confidence, but they have this fucking goddamn great voice and the timing, and they're just where have you been? And they get picked up or kind of groomed into a band, and I've seen that with a couple of bands that I've known, and it's 10 years later, and they're one of the most successful bands around because they gave that person that confidence and molded it, and I'm sure down the line you're gonna get some of those musicians. I mean, because you guys are fairly new. You've been around since 2018. What, 6 years?
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
I'm definitely the newest at it. Alex has everyone else I think has way more experience in Ride the Vibe as well, but I got pulled into it by John my son's a musician, and I somehow one day they were doing an open mic at Ocean Coffee Roasters in Middletown, and my son turned 21, and I got up on the mic and was happy birthday to you, or just be funny. Marilyn Monroe, my son, yeah, I did that. But John was like, hey, wait, you can sing? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let's come join my band. So you do backup singing, and I started doing that, and I was just backup, and I didn't like just standing there when I didn't have a part and dancing, like frilly girl. I decided I was gonna take that guitar and go with, I already knew A, G, D, like the easy ones, and try to learn C. C sucked. Learn F. F is a fucking bitch. And then go that, and like fingers are throbbing at night, and I just kept going, song after song. And then now I'm cheating with the capo. But
I don't know about cheating.
Cheat with the capo.
Now I want to hear you guys do some stuff. This being down, I apologize for them playing.
It's okay. Is it getting picked up? Can we hear it?
Oh, yeah, unless I put the gates on, but it might be tough to hear you on here. But I don't think, they started late. Usually they're done, by now. But we'll give it another few minutes and see what's going on over there.
Fair enough.
But as far as the band itself,
Yeah.
that was formed, a couple of years ago or so?
So
what I'm reading in the bio?
So I gave you the short bio.
Yeah.
So I tell the whole story.
Sure.
Quick story. I was dating a guy he's a local musician, and all the whole 5 years that we dated, I was learning guitar, and he had already been playing for 20 years. And I'd hide in the other room and go play. Then my goal was for us to do a duo, and I was just getting to that point where I was getting really good, and we picked Ride the Vibe, and we were gonna go play at Newport Elks. And then we broke up. And then I was like, well, I'm not canceling the gig. I asked my son to join me. I went over to his house down in South County, showed him the set list. He's gifted, so he's just like, oh, I'm just going to play along with you, Mom. I sang all the songs, and we went to Elks. You came down that night, da-da-da-da. And then from there, the Elks had us booked twice. So I grabbed another young man from around town who also could just play lead, and I would sing and da-da-da. And then Johnny Sage and I went on as a duo for a little bit. And then he got a girlfriend and didn't want to, it was busy. Busy. And it happens. So I asked Alex if he would be willing to do it too. I wanted to keep the Ride the Vibe going. And then Alex and I started playing together last year.
End of last year, yeah.
And it just worked out because he also sings, and I could also play the harmonica now. Mm-hmm. And we've worked out so many songs through harmonizing, and he plays, or I'll play harp, or I'll play a lot. It's just a great dynamic. And now we have Fritz, and Fritz writes songs as well and sings, and we haven't even touched on that yet. So I'm really excited about the dynamic of everyone together.
Now, you mentioned that you haven't been in the studio yet, but you guys were planning on
Yes.
doing something like
Yes.
that. Are you going to go into the studio, or is it something that you guys are going to kind of record on your own, since, you're kind of tech savvy now?
I dabbled a little bit with the Studio One. I have a lot of recordings with my late friend John on some of my originals, doing his lead parts. And then, him singing a couple of his originals and me doing backup on that and playing guitar. I haven't looked at, since he's passed, I have not going to listen to any of that, but I have a lot of eclectic stuff. My goal is to try to, either take pieces of that and give it to this guy, Randy, who lives in Warren, and he has a studio. But I'm thinking February, because financially, I just want to have enough money and figure out how many hours, or what is it that we want to do. A couple of originals for me, a couple of originals for Alex, Fritz's originals, and we collectively, that's the goal, to try to collectively figure that out.
Now, you said Fritz and your originals. Do you sing the originals, or she sings the originals you write?
Yes.
Or do you sing?
Yes.
Sing them.
Yes.
And
Yep.
you're just harmonizing?
I don't know his originals right now. I just know it. I don't have any part in that yet. He has learned the lead guitar on a few of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So around February, that's when we're going in. Are you going in with the whole band?
Yeah, yep. We'd like to.
Yes.
That's going to be kind of an experience together in the studio,
Yep.
together and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's funny because I've been in a studio before. To be honest with you, I hate it, and I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily like I don't want to be there. It's because I will record something 50 times because I don't like the first 49 times. It's, I get a little picky. I get a little like shit. I didn't do that right. And,
then the money signs are going through because it's
Yeah. Well, all right. So the few times that I've been in the studio, I've never had to deal with the money part.
Okay.
I've always been hired gun more or less for somebody else that wanted me to play for them. So I've never thought about that, but now I will.
now you got a little bit. Like I had a musician in here last night, and he said when they did their recording in the studio, they played as a live band, and then they just kind of overlaid, leads and little thing. Is that what you guys gonna? Is that the way you're going in there?
I don't know.
Or you
So
think you're gonna kind of isolate everything and then just?
I mean, the few times that I've been in the studio, that is the way it worked. It's like we played a song all together.
Yeah.
To kind of just lay it down, but then afterwards you go back in, and it's like I'd really like to have the rhythm sound this way. I'd really like to have the solo sound this way. And
Live is cool. Live is good. But you should definitely like maybe I would pick it apart and be like, I didn't like the way I vocalized that word for some reason.
Oh, I totally understand the
like,
vocal aspect of it, and throwing the leads in there. But the main kind of, drive of the song, even the drummer. You know what I mean? You can, keep that vibe there. Like when we were recording, to save money too, we recorded, all together, and then, the singer put his voice on there, and then the guitar player spent thousands of dollars putting 17 leads and 7,000 different guitar things in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need this, I need that, all that. But it was fun. It was a great process. And you said you've been in there before. You've been there. Have you?
I have not recorded, so I regret it because John and I were planning on. We went to this one studio with the whole there was a couple other guys that you used to hang out with, and it was a drummer, and we had bassist and myself and John, and we were gonna go. So we went and looked at the studio. We toured it. We talked to the guy Randy. And I chickened out because I was nervous. I'd never done anything like that before. I didn't think I was ready. They all thought I was, and I slept on it. And then John died, and I didn't get to do it.
Oh, that's sad.
That kind of thing. So, but that's the main reason why I want to go back to that one studio where I have to go finish when I started, and I had a whole new crew that's supportive, and that's awesome. And so to be able to have a second chance at that is awesome.
Excellent. Now I would imagine he's going to be a big inspiration when you're in there.
Always.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
Always there.
Now, as far as him and do you have family? Are they still involved? Any? Was it just him solo with the open mic, or does?
I still get calls from a lot of friends that I've met through John. There's Gianna and Kevin Sullivan who run the Newport International Music Festival every year, and for the past 4 years they've had me perform with whoever I've been with, mainly with John. But this past year John wasn't around. They had Ride the Vibe Up, and it was Alex and I that performed. So his sister's 90. I talk to her, at least once a month. She's so amazing and powerful woman.
Yeah, sharp. 90 years old. Yeah, still sharp as a tack.
Don't let that guy walk all over you. That kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
The old intuition right there, and the advice.
Women power.
Now, how many songs do you have as far as originals? Like, not how many you're gonna record, because you're saying 5 or 6. But as far as you must have, you're writing all the time, right?
So I struggle with writing quite a bit. I was before we recorded this podcast, I was telling her I can write music all day. I come up with riffs in my head, and that all comes easy to me. Lyrics suck. words really, I struggle with it. I struggle with how do you tell a story or a feeling or an experience and make it all come together in 3.5 or 4 minutes and make it all rhyme.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Shorten it up and like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And the lyrics come easy to me.
right.
They do. I don't know how, but they do. So I have like 8 that I like. Some still written in here that are like gibberish or whatever. Maybe become a song. Every now and then when the open mic decides to do like I don't know, they do like a jam session. And you're like, oh, well, someone needs to sing here, so I'll just pull out an old lyric or something and just start.
Oh, that's
saying
cool.
things, you know,
Yeah, just add it in there.
Just ad lib or whatever.
Now, the band, do you guys strictly do originals, or you throw in
No.
some covers in there? What kind of? I would imagine the covers are in the kind of the same style as the originals.
Yeah.
To keep it all.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of covers you doing out there?
Let's see. As far as genres go, I would say it's like folk, classic rock, a little bit of country, sometimes newer country. If I were to throw titles out there, we have a few Tyler Childers songs that I like to do.
I did harp on that one.
Yeah. Like You Ain't Going Nowhere, which is really originally a Bob Dylan tune, but most people know it. What is what's the one that everybody knows?
Graham Parsons?
Maybe.
Flying Burrito Brothers.
Yeah. One of the covers that she does, it's really awesome. She does "Your Cheating Heart" by Hank Williams, but it doesn't sound like "You're Cheating Heart." It doesn't sound like that at all. She like speeds it way up and makes it a rocker.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Y'all cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. There
That
you
was
go.
fun. That was real fun. Yep.
Now, was that just a kind of a wing it kind of thing?
I heard
Like-
somebody somewhere, and I don't remember who it was, way back when. Someone said to me, listen to all versions of the song that you want to do. So, like, I was, like, Googling versions of Your Cheating Heart. And I, liked the song for some reason, probably because somebody cheated on me at that moment or whatever. But I found this girl that was doing it kind of like that faster version. And then I brought it to John and Chris and Andy. And then they decided to put in these stops and stuff. So
Yeah.
And then all this like stop. Stop. It was like it rocks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I didn't know I was gonna be singing that song all around town though.
That's cool.
So now,
Yeah.
do I even want to sing it ever again? Okay,
Yeah.
once in a while.
You're gonna have to get used to that. You're gonna be singing your originals like crazy over and over again.
We'll see. We gotta rock those up too.
So as far as the band, how does how often do you play? Like what gigs coming up, and as far as that going on, anything going on with that? As far as,
What is our next gig?
I have a few feelers out. We don't have anything right now. It's a slow time of year.
Yeah, end of the year.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool to I'm looking forward to sitting down with these guys and figuring out, how we're going to change the set list. And I'm going over originals and who wants to do this, who wants to do that. And just collaborate and have fun and not have anything pressing. When you have a gig that's pressing, it's like, we got to focus. But when you sit down together, it's like ADD.
ADHD.
Oh,
yeah.
Someone's doing
Yeah.
this. Someone's like, no.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
starts making up lyrics on the microphone.
Yeah.
It's insane. Or like children.
I understand.
And they were like, wait, we have a gig. Stop. Focus.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything lined up right now. We will though. We regularly play at Johnny's patio and restaurant in Middletown. The Nest in Bristol. I reached out to Rusty's. She responded and said, Merry Christmas. It's a little time of year, but they'll get back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of the year is weird.
Yeah.
Because you have all this, you have the holidays, you have shows for New Year's Eve and New Year's.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what the hell is there worth having celebrations or gigs for in the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Kind of slows down.
Exactly.
That's why studio in February.
Nice. You
Right.
have a plan.
Right.
Now, but you two, had doing gigs together as a duet too.
Yeah.
Do you still do that? Or you still available to do that? Is that
Still available
stuff,
for it,
still
Always.
things that you
Yeah.
do? Because isn't there a lot of like availability for little, acoustic?
It makes it
things,
easier.
but-
It definitely makes it
When it's
easier.
just two of us,
Yeah.
It is easier.
Logistically,
They sit right in the corner, and you guys,
correct. Yep.
Definitely will still do that. I just don't want to exclude anybody, but I'm not above Not at all. Definitely.
Yeah, you're totally into the band and getting that going
Yeah.
right there. And I had the original. Well, you're playing covers too, so you can.
Yeah.
You guys can, keep playing. I had the original band in here. The kids and they were like saying, yeah, we can only play like once a month, or because we can't saturate. People like kind of get bored of, not bored, but you don't want to like. Play your originals constantly in front of the same crowd because they're not gonna.
Originals are a weird animal because you see, at least where we play, like most people will kind of tap out.
Yeah.
And just be like, what are they? And then they go to their own conversations over here. They want to say, kind of.
We usually use them for like Alex gotta go to the bathroom. I'll play an original. And then I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, all right, I'll do an original.
That's where they pop out.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's all about urination.
That's where that time it happens.
Weird.
Now, musicians in the family, are you in? Like,
You know what?
Are you inspired by someone? You mentioned your brother who's retired.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, you guys,
quote unquote.
So you guys had a jam together, or
Yeah.
did you argue about instruments growing up?
No. So my father's pretty musical. He won't admit it, but he is. He's never, as far as I know, he's never had lessons on how to play music. He like when he was a kid, he could play accordion, and then now he plays harmonica, and he thinks he sucks at harmonica.
Joey,
he does not.
If you're out there, Joey,
He has yet to show up to open mic and play.
Play this harmonica, Joey.
Yeah.
He's not showing up for
No, because he's all bashful and nervous. He's got stage fright.
Has he come to like witness it? Or,
Oh yeah, all the time. He's at all our gigs.
Oh, so he must
You get a few in him. You hear him singing out in the crowd.
He must get closer and closer every gig, though, right? A couple of steps closer.
Hundreds.
Yeah, he'll request a song and drop $100 bill and be like, "You guys want to do Freebird?"
Yeah, here's 100. Do Freebird. We're like,
Oh, that's
okay.
cool, though.
He's all into
He's
it.
having fun.
He's all into it. But as far as like, playing properly, lessons and all that stuff, no, it's kind of me and my brother being the first ones. My mother's musical as well in a different way. She used to dance, like do stage performance and stuff
Okay.
like that. You're not really playing instruments doing that, but she has her rhythm, and I think I've picked up a little bit of that in the genes, especially with playing drums and whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, me and my brother really originated playing music when we did this thing with Ben O'Connor. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. We both did band in middle school. So I played clarinet, and my brother played saxophone. I don't know how long my brother stayed in it, but I did all 4 years of middle school playing clarinet, and I loved it for the most part.
Must have been pretty
I'm glad you asked this question because I'm going to find clarinet.
That's coming.
I don't think I remember.
That's being added into the open
right
mic.
now.
It's in the open mic.
You can put one in my hands. I have no idea if I'll remember how to play it at all. Yeah, you ever heard somebody play the clarinet bad?
Like you're choking a bird.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. But that's where I started with music, and it was fun, and I was good at it too. But I didn't want to stick with it because I don't know, the music we were playing didn't interest me or anything like that. So like going into high school, I didn't do anything, and I started. I love music. I've always loved music, and when I was a kid, that game Guitar Hero came out. Loved Guitar Hero. Played it so often. Then Rock Band came out, which is the exact same thing, but with drums and bass and shit like that. And the first thing that got me to play on stage was we had Battle of Bands at my high school.
Okay.
And I started learning how to play drums through playing drums on Rock Band, believe it or not. If you play drums on Rock Band often enough,
I mean,
learn-
there's coordination going on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched I watched Rush. Rush, they did a little skit, and Rush did the Rock Band, and Neil Peart was
Oh,
trying
no
to
way.
play the drum.
Oh, no way.
They were doing Red Bot Cheddar or something.
Oh, I love that song.
And they
Yep.
were like, and then Getty and Alex were trying to play it was like a whole. But I can see
yeah.
how your fingers and like you can learn
Well-
certain things, and with the drums. I mean, at least you
Yeah.
get a rhythm and like the
Yeah.
bass drum. you start getting.
Well, especially the drums for that game will teach you how to play because you actually do the action of drumming. With the guitar and stuff, you don't press colored buttons to play guitar. But you do with drums.
I saw this thing on.
With drums, your right hand will constantly do eighth notes.
Yeah.
Your left hand is on 2 and 4,
Yeah.
and your foot is doing 3, 1 and 3
Yeah.
for bass. So it's enough to teach you to get going. I got a drum set. I started playing that at home just by myself. And then a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, Battle of the Bands is coming around. Do you want to play in a band?" And I was like, I don't know."
Did you have a drum set? Or
I did. Yeah, I had a drum set.
All right.
Yep, and I brought it to the Battle of the Bands. We practiced 5 or 6 times for this thing to do 3 songs, and I went into it all nervous, like this is a shit idea. And at the end of that show,
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
I have never. There was something about I had never felt previously what it was like to play music in front of people like that, where people enjoy it. And I came out of that thing the happiest guy in the whole band.
Definitely.
I couldn't believe it. I was going down to the crowd and running and giving them all high fives and shit. I was like,
The goddamn rock star.
yeah, yeah. I was like,
I
I need to keep doing this as long as I'm breathing.
Yeah, I mean, you get a taste of that little, people like it. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, so now you're playing with the band.
Yes.
You still get that feeling when you have,
Yeah, man.
people enjoy it. And now you're writing your own stuff.
Yes.
And then you get that acknowledgement from the crowd
Yep.
for your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that you have millions of people out there, but you know what I mean? Even the smallest amount of people, that's
Dude, sometimes
definitely
I don't
goes a
even
long
need
way.
the people to acknowledge it. Sometimes, especially with open mic, and you get people who show up, and I'll be on drums, and they just do their thing. I'll close my eyes and just enjoy what we're doing. It's just so rewarding, so rewarding, in almost an escapist kind of way. Because I'm not curing cancer doing this. I'm not
Right.
but I'm enjoying the moment, and sometimes the crowd enjoys the moment too. And when you do capture a crowd, yeah, it is wicked.
But the craziness of the world right now, kind of stops too. When you're
Yeah,
out there,
exactly.
you're focused on a song or,
Which is what touch on the
I don't
escapism
know how to
thing.
do guitar leads, but I can finagle enough lead on the harmonica, and I'll jump in sometimes, and it's just you're just in it, and it's wait, hello, that was cool. The world stops, and for a moment, we're all connected.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the open mic, that's religiously every Wednesday.
Yes. Every once in a while, we'll have an exception.
Yeah,
if holidays are
yeah,
coming around, or if sometimes we get sick. We're human.
Yeah,
so,
I understand.
Yeah.
And but do you have somebody that if you can't make it, you mentioned one time he wasn't there. Is there someone that can jump in there?
Yeah.
Or
in a while.
they limp around without Alex there, and they.
Sometimes
I
both.
limp around without Alex there. He'll try to get a drummer to come down, and fill in for him. It's not the same, but I appreciate people wanting to do that. I have in the beginning, because John didn't really do sound, so when I wasn't there or I had to go on vacation, I asked Randy Robbins, John Erickson has filled in for me, other guys that are prominent around the Newport area that would graciously be yeah, I can fill in. But since Alex and I have been doing it together, I really haven't had to do that because he can do it without me and I can do it without him.
I'd rather not,
I'd
but
rather not too. Although I've never left you alone.
no, you haven't.
That's right.
No.
I'm definitely gonna get down there to check it
Dude.
out. I apologize for this band here.
That's no problem.
I wanted to hear you guys.
Yeah.
We're excited to play.
You know what it means? You have to have us back.
Oh, definitely. I was going to say that. Now we're going to have you back. Now we're going to have you back with, the full band.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Now,
yes.
one thing I do have, I don't know if he can, your drummer, that's going to be too loud to play.
Probably.
But I have a cajon, the
Cajon's
box
perfect.
with everything there.
Yeah.
And while you guys play live, I can give him, mic it up with that. But I'll definitely, guys, have you back.
We
You
would
know
love
what I mean?
that.
Especially talking about the studio and getting ready for that. We're gonna, they're not Thursday nights. Wednesday nights, I'm here religiously, and they're not here. They just, I think, Thursdays and Fridays they practice, but.
I like the music. I like the
Oh,
music
it's
back
been
there.
good.
Yeah, it's
I'll be
cool.
honest in the back, but I want to hear you guys
That's
and stuff
okay.
like that. But
We don't need to play.
No, you do need to play. But
I'd rather
leave 'em
have-
walk.
we'll be here. We'll be here at 10 o'clock at night with these guys here. But yeah, definitely I'll have you back. It's a 4-piece band.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we can fit you all in
We're
here.
riding the vibe.
You know, the drummer might have to interchange with me here and there. To get
Sure,
his,
sure.
But the drummer always gets like
Yeah.
how it is.
Yep.
The bass player and the drummer, they get the
Yeah.
we don't want so they can switch seats together.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So we'll put the bass player there, the drummer. What's the name of that? I don't want to call them the
Josh
bass.
and Fritz.
Josh and
and
Fritz.
Fritz, yeah.
So they can interchange parts here. You guys can sit in these seats here
Wait,
and
there's
stuff.
like
But
a
I'll
lot of
definitely have
energy
you
in
on.
the room.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing this. Hopefully setting a night aside where these guys aren't playing. But I'm going to be definitely doing more of these.
Yeah.
You guys reached out. There's more people that have been wanting to come down, but I'm just limited with the holiday season. But you guys are definitely going to come down again. I'm going to have I had the heavy metal kids on last week, so they're all excited and stuff. And they're playing on the 7th, and then they just not me, but they asked me if I would MC their show and announce like
That's cool.
Nice.
hardcore band. So now I have got to get my raspy voice.
That's a good idea. It was like MC or rather.
Yeah, so now
awesome.
they just want me to introduce these bands, and so
That's cool.
and that's cool about this thing here. You know what I mean? You kind of help each other out with the support, and
I could give you lots of names of musicians too.
Exactly.
That would love this.
Because
and like the opportunity to shine.
yeah, because this is like a big hobby thing for me. I'm big in the MMA. I've already staked my my lane in that.
Sure.
So now I'm trying to like elevate the musicians in the New England, Providence, Rhode Island area.
Yep.
What are we doing?
As long as they're kind of, I can't have Joe Schmo come off the street and just start like, strumming the guitar.
Yeah.
I need kind of like people that are like.
That's
a
what the
little
open mic is
sour.
for. Joe Schmo can come to
Yeah,
our place.
exactly. Come to me a couple of years after that. But definitely, I'll have you guys on. Maybe beginning of February or something like that. But I'll definitely come down to the open mic, and maybe I'll play a song and we can record that, and we can come back and critique it and like bust my balls about it and shit like that or whatever.
I might do that.
You have to do it. That's what I'm all about, making fun of myself and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll definitely come down. My word right there. I will come down. I'll keep in contact with you. Let's be friends on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Let's get back and forth, because I'm going to be doing a lot of this. At least once a week, I'm going to have bands and stuff and you can actually call in remotely too. You don't have to always come down here. You know what I mean? If you can make it, she can't. She's home. We can, do something that way too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
These guys on the band you can support too.
But excellent.
That's right.
Anything you want to leave off with before I let you
I just
go?
want to say thank you.
Yeah, man.
It's been great meeting you. It was a good banter.
Yep.
Thank you so much for having us.
This wasn't that bad.
That wasn't that
No,
bad. It was a little
no.
nervous, but-
If I were to say one thing, I just love to promote the open mic because I love the open mic. If you're in the area, it is every Wednesday, 7:30 until our fingers fall off. Come on down. Public 2 Mile Corner. It is in Middletown. I think it's 10 Maple Ave. Sorry, Ed and Diane, if I got that wrong.
It's 10 Maple Ave.
It is 10 Maple Ave. Parking is in the back, not on Maple Ave, and that's where the entrance is as well. We welcome all musicians. It doesn't matter if you know 3 chords or spider chords on heavy metal stuff. It doesn't matter.
Or just the vocals.
Yep.
Whatever you got.
Bring your didgeridoo, bring your fiddle, bring your banjo, bring whatever you got. If you got a rain stick, come on over.
Bring your kazoo.
Excellent. Well,
Kazoos.
let me tell you. All right. So, I will go the first Wednesday of the new year. Will you be going on with that?
Perfect. Yeah.
Because it's going to be a busy week.
That's 1, 2, 3. That's the 3rd or January 3rd.
Yes. I think
Yeah,
so.
the first is Monday, so
Monday.
you'll be going the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll be coming down because I'm going to see Ben, who was here last night.
Okay.
I'm going to go see him Friday night, and then I'm emceeing for the metal band on Sunday. So I'm just going to make it a rock and roll week. So you guys are my 3 guests, in the last week and a half. So I'm going to come down here.
Maybe we can get Ben down to the open mic. We'll feature him.
That would be fucking
We could feature him. We used to do that in the beginning. Like
Connections.
We would
It's
do,
all about
we
connections,
would do
right?
45-minute features and like promote it on all the.
I was a 45-minute feature at one point.
Yeah.
Before.
Yes, he was.
Well, I know Ben. He's got his original stuff coming out soon, and
So if he's
stuff.
willing, we'll chat. We'll get back on.
He's on the Rolodex. He'll be back here. He's actually coming in with his band. He's in a 4-piece band too. So, and I did the same thing with him. The drummer's gonna have to sit at the drum set, and he's gonna have to like intertwine with the bass player because that's just the way it is.
Yep.
But I'll definitely have you
I
on.
liked his holiday song. He had the holiday Christmas
so
song.
good.
Yeah.
You listen to his Spotify. He's got all the the band playing behind him. It's like he's like, I loved it. You know what I mean?
Cool.
It's great.
I can't wait.
And I can't wait to hear your stuff. And I apologize again.
Nah,
But I got a Santana in the corner over there. But tonight, what are you gonna do? But I will be there the 3rd of January.
All right.
And I'll play a song. I'll jump up there.
Yep. You get up to 3 or 4. Depends on that.
I'm not that good.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
not good enough. I could definitely do it. But you want to leave off with some social media? Or I know you CC Louise.
Top CC Louise,
Yeah.
and you can just check out Ride the Vibe for upcoming shows and Wednesday open mic. Every Wednesday, that's it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Really simple.
Yeah.
Well, I will be there on the 3rd, giving you some support,
Thank
taking
you.
some some videos and stuff, and I'll get up there.
Yay!
Excellent. Excellent. I'll drum for you if you want.
I thrive on
We got bass players that play bass for you, the whole thing, dude. We got banjo players, sometimes fiddle players.
sing.
Whatever you want behind you.
We'll figure out what's going on there. All right. Well, with that said, thank you so much, CC.
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank
come
you.
down. Again, I'll say this a million times. I apologize again that I didn't get you, hear you live, but
It's okay.
we'll save it for another time.
That's right.
For your time.
We'll be back.
All right. Awesome. With that said, we will be back next week, I think, with comedians. We got comedians in the house next week. So I kind of like those because I joke on myself and they can just dissect me. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
With that said, we are out of here, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, man. Appreciate it.
Peace.